we move to our next level of personalized learning, you heard two teachers, Jenny and we heard Jim, talk about the personalized learning. How are we going to make our learning more flexible, student-driven, authentic tasks that take place across the building? And in our intervention programs, as we are using the Reading Plus and the iLearn. So what tool, resource will we need as we look to the future? Taking a look at our multi-layer professional development, all our PD in our building has been with Rachel and our teachers. We have done everything within our building. As we take the next steps, we may have to take a look at what are some experts outside our district that can come in that will help my Fox River teachers, some leadership people we pick. I'm thinking about one from each content area. And these experts work with them, and then these leaders in my building come in and they work with all my teachers, and they're there to sustain it and support it. We'll have to think about what that might look like. And then we have to think about what will be options that we have. I put a couple options up there for tonight. Once again, just thinking, just to spark some interest from you. Option number one, when we're thinking about personalized learning, we might want to train the staff and have expectations for 14-15 with the teachers only. As they experiment with it, try with it, work with our experts, work with our teacher leaders in the building. And then we might want to embed this personalized student learning in the 15-16 year for all. Could be a possibility. We might want to look at option two, which would be personalized learning training, once again for the teachers in 14-15. And then maybe we just slowly put it in 15-16 for the 7th graders, and then in the 16-17 for the 8th graders. That might be an option we want to take a look at. When you think about the Common Core is 6-8. Where is our 6th graders on our journey? That'll be something else we'll have to think about. Where do we put them into the options? Where do we help the teachers with that? So we'll have to think about that. I didn't put that option up there, but I want us to think about that also. So to address what Paul had for a question with us, our test scores. I think we all know and we all realize that a tool doesn't increase your test scores. A tool is a resource that helps us and assists us. Fortunately, we're very fortunate in our building. Our test scores continue to move forward. You've seen all these scores before. We're not going to spend a lot of time on them. They get presented by Mr. Yolk at district meetings. You've had availability. But you can see right here, our math scores, and these are our mean RITs for our building. So we take the median score of all our 8th graders, and we are, since 2010, we continue to grow in math and reading every year. Our Explore test, we do the Explore test the past 3 years. The national average is right here. We're well above the national average. Even as the national reading average fell, we were far above the national average with our Explore testing. The high schools complimented us on the students that we send because of the ACT test and how they're prepared. Our WKC scores, they take a small dip in that math area, but last year I came to you with a presentation with math, and we now have all students doing algebra in 8th grade. We've taken it down to 6th grade, where we worked this year with the 6th grade teachers, and we're moving our math program forward. Our math scores will continue to grow up. We're moving forward in all those areas. And then I put a little hesitation on the bullet on the last slide. We are required by the DPI to send results on where we are with our tech, with our 8th graders. And back in 12-13, 156 of 161s were advanced or proficient in technology. In 11-12, we had 179 of 199. Now the confusing piece of this is that's data on 8th graders exiting our building. That doesn't allow us to make curriculum adjustments within our building because those kids are now out of our building. So Rachel, can you flip back to the slide before? By moving forward with this 21C, this student assessment through learning.com, and I will certainly send this in an email attachment to you. This allows us to assess how we're moving forward, Paul, and our 21C skills in our building. We can do pre-assessments, we can do post-assessments. The 7th graders and 8th graders, we can start them in 6th grade, we can do a pre-assessment in 6th grade. Our teachers can work on the skills throughout the school year. We get the data at the end, and we can answer the questions that Paul's asked me. Darlene, how are the students moving forward with achievement in 21C skills? the kids actually have to go into this program. They actually have to manipulate online, move this here, go this here, do this here to show that they can do these things before the answer can even be corrected, answered on the database that we have. So I've talked to Mr. Heath about this, and I'm looking at getting this in the building right now because I think it's another piece that will go along with the survey we talked about that we're going to have on the Speak Up survey. This will be valuable information to address what Paul is asking. Darlene, how are we moving forward academically with 21C skills? Flip forward. So as we think about growth in our building in phase 2, I think you're well aware the Explore test will be moving out of our building with the new suites of tests coming in that will move to the high school. We will no longer do the Explore test at Fox River. The WKCE is going to move to the Smarter Balance. Actually, we're very fortunate. In March, we've been selected as an 8th grade math team to pilot the Smarter Balance for math. All of my 8th grade students will be taking the Smarter Balance, which is going to gain valuable information of how to take the Smarter Balance test using the computer. They'll all do it on their one-on-ones, what the type of questions are, how long it takes, the depth to it. So I'm really happy we got picked as a pilot school. Our maps, we've started a new maps, which is the Common Core, right embedded into the map testing. We'll continue to do that in the fall, winter, and spring. That is formative assessment that drives what we do daily in our instruction. And then we'll move this yearly tech assessment that we've written that we have to report to the state, and we'll move it to this 21st century assessment through the learning.com, which will then give, kind of like our map testing, it'll give us formative assessment data to work with our kids in the building, not as they're leaving to go to the high school. So I think these are the growth phases we might want to consider as we look at growth with test scores. As we look at focusing on the teaching and learning phase 2 to the future, and in preparation for this, we put together with the help of Rachel and Kathy, I did a faculty meeting with my staff, and I did a survey with them. And I asked them, if we want to be exemplary middle school, staff of Fox River Middle School, what do you think we're going to have to do in the 21C skills areas? What do you, Fox River teachers, think? And Rachel and I went through the surveys, and we pulled one rich piece from each of them. I just want to tell you what the teachers are thinking. The Fox River teachers say, Darlene, we've got to get new tools and apps that help us guide students through online information. When you talk about communication, Darlene, how can we help the community, the PTO, the veterans, the local programs? When you think about access and research, how are we going to help our students to be good digital citizens and locate information quickly and reliability-wise? When you think about content, project-based learning, you've heard that a couple of times tonight. How are we going to teach our students how to think, thinking skills, rather than teaching them the content? We look at our collaboration. What are we going to do, Darlene, with the tool to collaborate beyond our 4 walls? With other countries, with other experts, in other middle schools, to solve problems in the world and just here in Waterford. We don't have the ability to do that right now with the tool we presently have. And last, our critical thinking. Darlene, we need to refine the way we instruct and not be afraid to break down the walls. This is what the teachers at Fox River are thinking. They're asking for the future of what we're doing at Fox River. So as we think about, and we try to end up right here, as we continue to transform instruction, because of the graciousness of you guys, you have given me the ability, our ability, to implement and learn the tool. We have done that for 3 years, going on our 4th. We moved from paper to digital. That was a deal I made with you. If we get the computers, we're going to reduce the paper in the building. We're not completely paperless, but we are in many, many ways over at Fox River. We have pockets of excellence in specific units and courses. You saw some of the people tonight highlighted, 5 of them. I could have brought you tons more, but we wanted to go home tonight. The future. How are we going to redesign and create curriculum that provides interactive learning consistently in all of our content areas? That's really the question that I have to answer for my parents and students and teachers with the help of you to guide us there. So with that all said, I think there's 3 takeaways tonight that I'd like you to take away from here, and there may be some more, but 3 I thought of. The first one is we probably are going to have to look at a new tool. And we're going to have to think about, seriously, what that tool might look like. Because we've got to think about the critical thinking, and we have to think about the creativity. The second thing is we're going to have to take a look at staff training. What's that going to look like? I don't know. I just think we're going to have to look closely at that. And number 3, we're going to have to continue our focus on teaching and learning in a 21C environment that changes daily. How do you keep up with something that's switching every single day, that's growing every single day? That's I think, the goal, the task that we have at hand. So with that said, I think, Paul, hopefully I've answered your question with the assessment. Paul, Dan, hopefully you got a little flavor of the Moodle, and now I certainly will ask any questions. I don't know, Rachel, is there anything more you want to answer to it? Cannon, is there anything I missed from your end? Mrs. Hobby?
Nope. Great.
All right. So hopefully your note cards are empty, so I can sit down. If they're not, let's see how I can do